Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to today. My name is Stu McLaren. I am joined here by the amazing Sapphire Gray. Sapphire, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you
Well,
very
listen, thank you so much for your willingness to come and
much.
share your story. I want to talk about your membership, which got off to a blazing hot start with the launch. But before we do that, can you give some context in terms of who is it that you serve in your market?
Well, basically, I help busy professional women get into the property space. So help them get into investing in property, because there was a lot of women that wants to invest. They could be in their own current business, or they could be working for someone. So I help busy professional women get into the property investment space.
Amazing. Okay. And I can tell by your amazing accent that you are from somewhere in the UK. And we were connecting before we jumped on that you're from Kent, right? Kent.
Yeah.
And I was born in Gravesend, Kent, although obviously my accent doesn't demonstrate that. But I moved over when I was 6. But I was like, oh my gosh, she's from Kent. That's amazing. Okay, so let's talk about this. So had you had an audience beforehand that you had been growing? Talk to me about a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my background is a business coach, and I help sort of private clients in the background of that with their property business. And a lot of people were saying, Sophia, look, I need help with this. What do I invest? So I kind of went into a backspace of that and said, all right, let's do something, but I didn't know what. And then you popped up, and I thought this will be the perfect opportunity to actually do one-to-many through the membership. So I kind of filtered it out and thought to myself, well, will it work for a membership? Could I do this for a membership? And with your encouraging words, it was possible to do it for a membership. So I started to help women transition from the one-to-one with me. So I did property coaching with them and business coaching with them, and then transition them over and saying, like, I'm going to be starting to do something here. Would you be interested? And everyone was like, yeah, when's it happening? So I kind of knew that it was the space, because you said do your due diligence behind, and I've done that. I've done all my investigation to find out whether it was going to be a service that people would like, and absolutely a resounding yes.
Well, and what I loved about that, and I just wrote this down. By the way, if you ever see my head go down, it's
Yeah.
because I'm writing. I'm always a student, always taking notes. But one of the things that I loved about what you said was this was a conversation that was naturally occurring with your existing clients. And I think many times there are clues in terms of the questions that people are asking that could potentially become a great membership. And what I heard from you is my clients were asking about the property investment on a regular basis, which obviously led to, it eventually becoming the idea for the membership.
Yeah, it was. And what came out of that as well, when you're just a one-to-one coach, you're doing a holistic view of the property industry, whereas people want the nuts and bolts of it, because there's the mechanics behind actually building out your business to then become an investor. And that's what I was trying to demonstrate to my clients, but they weren't quite getting it. So I knew that there was a gap in the market that I could really dive deep into the educational part of it through the transitions of the modules that I created for them. And it's perfect.
Yeah. So, and that's another great point. Like, there's only so much that people can piece together when they're getting, tips here and there and everywhere. But, having and working with somebody over a long haul with a particular, success path
Right.
is the thing that really helps people make long-term progress. So I'm super pumped, excited. Okay. So let's talk about like what happened, because, oh my gosh, you got off to a blazing hot start. So you had your clients who you had been talking to about the possibility of doing this idea.
That's right.
How did you go from that point to eventually launching the membership? Walk me through that.
Okay, so basically, I joined your your membership and going through your process, and learned about a success path and the journey from start to end. And I felt that's what the missing link was all the time, because you always start something, but where's the end? Where does the journey end and go, and where does it go beyond there? So the beyond there can be set as my coaching side of it, but the middle part, the beginning and then the success path, I needed to create a linear journey for them that it was implementable, so they can implement each stage of it. So I followed your course. I've done every module, by the way. I've done all my I've done everything that you
You get
said.
a gold star, Sapphire. Gold star.
I've done everything that was required, because I said sometimes you take up a course and you don't really listen to your instructor, what they're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. And I thought, I'm going to trust this process. If he said it works, because you always said tribe works, and I said, if you're saying it works, it must work. So there's only one way to test that theory, is to actually do it. And I tell you, I went back to school last year. I went back to school with your teachings. It was like, oh my goodness, I feel like I need to go and get my grandkids to help me through this. But I went through the whole process. I went through your process. I followed everything you said to do. I did at the stage when I was doing it. Yes, I hit some roadblocks. And those roadblocks was different things that were coming at me. And I was just thinking, oh, I stopped and then I started again. But I still followed the process because I knew I wanted to start. And then it was about saying a date. And that was I moved the date 4 times because I felt I wasn't ready. And something you said about getting it done or getting it started. And I just thought, you know what, just throw it out there. If you throw it out there, you're going to have to do it. You're forced then to do it.
Yeah.
So I threw it out there and I thought, right, I'm going to set my date. I set my date and I lost all of my data that I had. And I had to recover that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What happened?
All my data crashed. I had an external hard drive. It crashed. I had to get that recovered at a very expensive cost. Got it recovered, and then I set the launch date again. When I set the launch date, I was invited as a guest to another group, and she said present, and it just blew up on there. Everyone was like, I'd never seen so many people communicate through the WhatsApp, through texting, through I want to join, and it was just rapid. Within a few hours, I had 30 members on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is amazing, and I appreciate you talking about the challenges that often come because, you know, the Stephen Pressfield, who's the author of The War of Art, he talked about how it's the resistance. You know, the resistance shows up in all kinds of different ways. You know, you talked about the resistance that bubbles up internally, which is like, I'm not ready, and moving the date. And then there's the external resistance, which, oh my gosh, like, a hard drive crashing. That's like the heartbreak of all of us. P.S. Go and back up all of your hard drives. Everybody watching and listening, but you did it and you moved through it, and then you come through the other side, which is amazing. And so you did a founding member launch, and talk to us about like the mechanics of that. How did you put it out there that people could come and join you as a founding member? Kind of talk us through that.
Right. So I followed, again, your cues and your tips and your scripts, re-altered them according to my audience, because that's another thing. It's not just one script fits all. So you have to configure it to suit your audience needs.
Yes.
It was like more like a webinar that I was invited to do. So I presented that webinar on the 1st of November last year. And I took it in each stage. So they were all invited. They knew that I was going to be speaking. The email sequences went out, that they shouldn't miss it. They should sign up for it. And I think I was one of her biggest audiences on her platform, done the webinar. And it was the questions that were coming off the back of that were phenomenal, because people were really then curious as to how do I get onto your membership? Then I'd done another email sequencing aside from that. And each email day it went out, and I'd done a workshop, a 4-day workshop. I pre-recorded it and then sent that out, so they knew what was happening and what it was all about. And that then led into another webinar. So I'd done the first one, and then I'd done another one, and then got more members on board. So I kind of done a 2-way.
You double dipped. You double dipped.
I did. And it was fantastic. It really was.
So just curious, did you use the same webinar presentation both times?
No, I switched it. I'd done a longer length of it because it was then on my terms as to what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to take up too much time. So I wanted to expound on that. and give them an 8 sequence how to do it and what to do, and then I would be teaching them in the how to do it in the membership site.
Amazing. Okay, so then talk to us about the pricing that you structured for your founding members, because I'm always curious. Sometimes people will set up their founding members where they can join and get lifetime access. Sometimes it's a monthly access. So talk to me about how did you structure your pricing?
Right. So my initial founder members, it's lifetime access, and it was £97. So that converts, I don't know what that converts to in dollars, but it was £97 for each month going forward. Then I done another launch, which was the new, I called it the main launch, which was 147 per month.
Okay,
and then
got it.
Signed up for that as well. But it was I didn't, and that's ongoing. So the second set is ongoing payments as opposed to the founder member, because obviously I wanted to collect the feedback and what the structures, did they enjoy it, so, and I explained that to them. I went through the process of why the price is what it is, and it will go up when I actually do the main launch on it, because I wanted to demonstrate that to give feedback is quality, and to give feedback is priceless. So this is why it was going to be set at that. And then I wanted them in it so they can feedback and become the VIPs of the membership site in the long run, and then able to then help other students that are going to be coming on board in the future with onboarding them as well. So they'll be part of the integral of the future membership going forward.
Buddy, I'm so stoked for you, because I think about, when the initial idea, bubbles up and it's like, well, maybe I could do this. And then inevitably we all face those self-doubts of will this work? Oh my gosh, am I ready for this? And then the resistance of things happening, right? But you move through it all, and now you're on the other side of this, and you've got a membership with a whole bunch of members with recurring revenue. How good does that feel?
It feels fantastic, absolutely. And the thing about it, I'm very mindful of the times that we're in, and I was considering that, and I said, look, even if I've got 1 or 2 people, just proof of concept that somebody's interested in it, I'm happy with that. To get so many people on board it was just like, okay, so it's more than proof of concept, and that's just me talking. When I actually launched the membership, they were blown away. When they saw what was in the back end, they were like, okay, this is more than what we was expecting.
This girl's got game, is what they're saying.
Yeah, they were shocked. They were absolutely shocked. And the testimonials and the comments that was coming off the back of that alone was like, okay, I know what I'm doing now.
Well, I'm for me, because obviously you're in our community, but I mean, I live and thrive off the stories of people putting what they're learning into practice and getting results. And I can see in that twinkle in your eye that the same is true for you, and that now is where the fun part happens. Now is when people are taking what they're learning, they're putting it into practice, they're getting results, and you can start sharing those stories. That's when, it really becomes meaningful. And I'm excited for what this is going to mean for you as you begin moving forward. What tips would you have for somebody who was where you were just a few months ago with that idea, thinking about a membership? They want to move forward with it. What tips and advice would you give them now that you've most recently come through that?
We can all make up excuses throughout our journey, through our life process, but feed off of what you know in your heart. Always go for what you believe that you're capable of doing. All you're doing with a membership is imparting your knowledge onto other people. And if you help one person, you've helped many, because that one person will then pass that out to many other people and say, hey, I went on this membership and it really helped me in this way. So just do it. Don't get it perfect, because there's no perfect membership site out there. Maybe on yours, Stu, but but it's just getting all the content out there, sharing what you know, because once that happens, you'll start to tweak and get it more right, because you'll get the feedback from your members, and they will tell you exactly, yep, this is working for us really well, or it's not. And then you keep on feeding them with that. And the secondly is, it's just about, don't let the fear stop you and trap you in moving forward. Fear is a crippling thing to have. And I'm on this live, and let me tell you, as much as you see me here, this was not me last year, February. I could not sit in front of a camera and do a live in front of anyone. And it's got me now in a space where, yes, go out there and do your videos for your tribe members or for your members, you know, do this, do that. So it put me in a position where, do I have something to say? Do I understand what I'm going to be delivering? Yes, I do. Then why not? Get out of my way and get out of people. Put yourself in a position. And just by the feedback, it's humbled me in such a way that people are saying, you've changed my life. I ain't done nothing yet. Do you understand? I haven't even begun yet. And yet these little steps that I've given them so far, these little nuggets, is helping them. And it's a beautiful, beautiful community. And it's for women only, by the way. I'm working with women because I believe that women, I want to uplift them. I want to show them that they can also be part of a journey in the investment realm where it's normally dominated by men. They can also be on that journey and succeed at it.
Well, I'm just, I'm so thrilled for you, truly, Sapphire, really am. And I love what you said. And I've wrote down a bunch of things that I'm going to recap for everybody. And then I'm going to hand it back to you after this for any final thoughts that you want to share. But a couple big rocks that I hope everybody takes away from this. One, there were questions that were coming up with Sapphire's clients that she began paying very close attention to. That was the seed of the idea for the membership. And I share that because many times people are asked, like, will a membership work for my market or, with the people that I serve? Listen, start with listening, because there's often clues there, exactly what Sapphire said. Number two, she talked about like the importance of having the success path and that journey, because little bits of random information are helpful, but are difficult for the audience to piece together to create that, proper pathway that's going to lead them to success. This is why, my friends, it's so important in a membership to have that pathway and map that out for people. Third, which I love, is you talked about, the importance of modifying whatever you're learning to cater to your audience. So you talked about this with the founding member launch script and really molding that to serve the audience, which obviously is going to increase the effectiveness of anything. So great piece of advice there. I loved your founding member launch pricing. I love that you rewarded those early members. And that's a strategy that obviously is beneficial to them because they get a lower price, but it's beneficial to you. And the thing that I could hear over and over and over again from you is that, yes, you got off to a blazing hot start. Yes, that generated a bunch of money. Yes, you got recurring revenue coming in, which is all fantastic. But the thing that you kept coming back to, which I love, is that those early members are the people that are helping shape the direction and of the membership. They're giving you that feedback. And I can't emphasize the importance of this enough for everybody watching and listening. I hope you picked up on that, because yes, any revenue that you generate with a founding member launch, that's bonus. But the real gold is that feedback. And then your final tips, which I think was really important, is realize that when you do launch, it's about focusing on that one person, because that one person that you can help, as you said, you've helped many. And I really do love the way in which you frame that up, because it's like that domino effect. If you can just help one person, then that one person is going to lead to 5, and 5 will lead to 10, and 10 will lead to 100, and so forth. But it all starts with that one. And then don't let fear stop you. And I find it hard to believe. One, I think you mentioned you're a grandmother. I still don't believe that. I think you're being cheeky on that. But number two, that you found it hard to get in front of a camera. Look at you. You're on fire. And you're so comfortable. And I love that you are now sharing that with everybody. And it's just a great testament to, sometimes we just got to get out of our own way and just start moving forward. So thank you so much, Sapphire, for this. Do you have any final thoughts for everybody watching and listening?
I just really want to thank you, because you're the catalyst of me having this now. You've brought so much different levels of joy and pain at the same time, because you've made me think. You've made me do a process that I was uncomfortable with doing, because you can set yourself in a way that, do you want to learn more? And you opened up my mind and my knowledge to say you can learn more and you can do it this way, and this way is the right way. And I followed that path, and believe me, anyone watching this, it's the truth. The way Stu has taught this and the way I've implemented it, it's the same way you will implement it and what you're learning, and you will become successful if you follow the success path.
Buddy, you're amazing. I appreciate you. And next time I'm in the UK, I'm definitely coming to visit you and family that's in Kent. We'll go out for a good old cup of tea. All right.
Thank you so much.
Where can people go to learn more about you, Sapphire?
So anyone can look on any social medias. 50 Savvy Women is my core company. I have a group of companies. So my core company is 50 Savvy Women. On any social media platforms, or www.savvywomen.co.uk.
Thank you so much for that. And I want to encourage everybody, if you haven't done so yet, go to gettribeguide.com and you'll hear many more stories of people who are launching, growing, highly successful memberships. And plus, when you go to Get Tribe Guide, I'm outlining and answering the top 10 questions that I get asked day in and day out about growing memberships. It's all outlined there for you, tons of examples. So if you haven't gone to get that, make sure you do. Again, it's gettribeguide.com. I think, let me just see here. Where is it? There it is. There it is. Gettribeguide.com is where you can go and find that. Sapphire, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. Thank you.
All right. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.